So let us so let us start with the model second, that is a symmetrical fault analysis. See, we all well know that the power system behavior of the power system, how it works, what it is, or what is the power system. It's comprised or starts from a generator to the consumer point. Consumer point means a load point. Take a load point. When it is a normal, that time what happen? The current will be flowing without any interruption, and the power, that is called as a power system. A flow of a current will take place from the generation to the load point. Between this one, there are many equipment comes. In this one, it comes a transformers comes, then transmission lines come, circuit breaker, relays, many equipments are there in this one. So when this all equipment are connected, they form a single line diagram, or they form a network we call as the power system and the power will be transferred from O generation to the consumer points. So this is generally a normal behavior of a power system, or it is also called as a normal operating condition. Now the condition goes on changing. When it is a when it is in normal operating condition, there is no interruption, there is no fault, nothing. Every equipment is working fine. Uh, but if any abnormalities or any fault occurs, then a problem occurs. That then there will be a problem. Abnormal or faulty condition. If any fault occurs at any part of the system, or any or within the machines, then the behavior of the power system changes. They changes. Why it happens? The fault, there are many types of a fault. There are line to line fault, line to ground fault. Those fault have been divided into symmetrical fault and asymmetrical faults. So if you see any failure, insulation failure occur in the equipment. That time what happens? If it occurs in the equipment, that also is a fault. It is a fault, it leads to a fault. Or any flash or lightning stroke struck the transmission line, that also we call it as a fault. That fault will create lot of problem. It disturbs the normal condition of a power system. So it is important that break we should break the faulty parts. To break a faulty part, what is required? A circuit breaker is required, a relay is required. The relay detect where what is the fault. When a fault occurs, that time the current, the amplitude of the current or the magnitude of the current, suddenly it increases. That increase of a current is detected by the relays. That relays, it gives signal to the circuit breaker. Then the circuit breaker will open. Circuit breaker will open and it isolate the faulty sections. So it is important. Circuit breaker is very important. So if circuit breaker never respond, then what happens? The equipment will damage. The equipment will break. The equipment will break or it catches fire. So to prevent the electrical equipment, we are using the circuit breaker. So circuit breaker is very important. Relays and circuit breaker plays very important role. For if you see a circuit breaker, that time what happens? Circuit breakers is having two operating current system, that is, during the normal condition, its current value is different, and when any fault occurs, the interrupting current value also it is different. So now it is very important to study the faulty condition. Fault analysis study is very important. If you don't if you study this fault analysis system, then we can make out what is the current required for a circuit breaker to break or to isolate during the faulty conditions. So this is so it is very important to study this one. So what happened during this during the any fault occurs, that time what happened? The current value increases. So the current value is a major important where we find what actually it happens. Now in this synchronous mode, if you see this synchronous mode, any equipment, there are we will be studying on two things. One is of R and L. What is the fault condition during the R and L. And what happens when a synchronous generator, it is fault occurs in a when a fault occurs in a synchronous generator, how it behaves, what is the behavior of the synchronous generator. So now let us little bit go through the synchronous generator. We know synchronous generator what, or a generator system. It consists of field, it consists of armature current, it is there. When a fault occurs, in this one, many changes will take place. During the normal condition, the current is produced in the armature, the field winding will rotate, armature produces the current, uh, and it is transferred. But any fault occurs, maybe line to line, or double line, or three phase fault. Any fault occurs, that time the current value, the magnitude of the current will increases, and when it is increases, it is a transfer to the armature. The magnitude of current, it transfer to the armature. That time what happens, the flux inside the armature will increase. When it increases, then the particularly there are some slots or dummy winding we call. That winding will absorb the flux, and tries to reduce the high value of the flux. The high value of the flux, it tries to reduce the high value of the flux and tries to bring it to the normal condition. For this purpose, when uh, this process takes a little bit cycle, a few cycle, it take a few cycle. During the first cycle, what happen, the flux will be more, the current level will be more. In the next cycle, what happen, it tries, the armature reaction take place inside the generator. That time it tries to take the flux, it tries to absorb the flux, and tries to neutralize or reduces the flux, high level of the flux in the armature, and it brings to the normal condition. So there are three process: transient, subtransient, and steady state. In this steady state, this all three state will passes, and after few cycles, what happens, it directly come down and it becomes a steady state. It is also called as a normal condition. So these three we will be studying. So let us go with one derivation, a small derivation we will go within, that is called as a transient of a transmission line. We are having this diagram shown in figure 9.1. We are having a resistance and as well as inductance. It is connected in series, and it is supplied with the it is supplied or fed with the voltage. So we will consider this as a transmission line, for this one. What happens to the transmission line, and what happens to the synchronous generator which is connected to the synchronous. So this V is equal to root 2 Vi sine omega t plus alpha is a voltage supplied. This is a voltage supplied. So what happens in the above assumption, the line represent the during the short circuit occurs. If any short circuit occurs during that time, there is a lot of changes. Voltage will change. Uh, current amplitude will be maximum, or current increases to a large value, at the time very less few, when a short very within a very short time it will changes during the short circuit. So what happened here, current, it is nothing but current, this what we see, I is equal to is plus it, that is is the steady state current. Now in next what happened in this, if you see this one, we will put the values, is value we will put, we are going to get this combined to value that we are going to get in this one. Now in this one, what they have told, as the time passes, current, when the short circuit occurs, that time current will increases to a maximum value. Afterwards, what happen in that one, only it starts reducing within few cycles, within few cycles, it starts reducing and tries to attain a steady state or normal state during that one. And you can see it has achieved, that is it decreases down, and we get one formula, that is short circuit current. It is given by short circuit current, given by a formula which consists of two things. One is symmetric short circuit current, another one is DC offset current. So what happen as the time passes during the short circuit, this current we are going to, as the time passes, what happen, this reduces to larger extent. Okay, this reduces to larger extent. And here what happen, we will get only one formula from here. We get theta, then we are going to get only one, that is, if you see this one, we are going to get only one, that is IMM is equal to root 2v divided by, that is z, divided by z, that is nothing but twice the maximum of symmetric short circuit. This is the current which is required for the circuit breaker. This is the maximum current which a circuit breaker can tolerate, this one. So this is a value we are going to get. And now if you see this one, here we will see a diagram. In this diagram, if you see this diagram, these are the diagrams. Okay, these are the diagram it has shown. Here in this one, what happens during the, it has shown two set of values. One is current they have shown, one they have shown the voltage, and some difference they have shown. In this, what happened, the changes, voltage remains the same, you can see v is a change, but the current goes on increasing or goes on changing. But as the time passes within few seconds, this will reduce and goes to the normal condition. This will go to the normal condition. It passes through the three state: transient, subtransient and steady state. So from high value of a current, it gets reduces to the normal value of a current.